So let's talk about Kambo. So are you ready to hear about my experience? Say yes. All right, here we go.
Hey there, Casey Ship here, fitness model, hormone expert, and a master energy healer. I help goal-oriented women clear out the reason why nothing has worked and finally step into their purpose and get everything they've ever wanted.
Kambo. So I did this with Demasi. I always say Demasi, but it's Demasi. My Cuban saucy friend, we've known each other for like 13 years. We met back in network marketing, you know, like a personal growth event. She's actually on my podcast. She helps network marketers break through that 10K a month mark. So it's really cool. But anyway, she's actually on my podcast. We're talking about ayahuasca. And she's always there for me when I've got, like, when I'm moving into like this new era, and she's just there. And I was like, dude, you need to like help entrepreneurs go to the next level through plant medicine because you're so good at this. But anyway, she makes it not so scary and weird because she's not your typical granola walking barefoot. Nothing that there's anything wrong with this, but you know, different strokes for different folks, right? She's not the type that makes you feel really, whoa, you know, the tonalities of someone that's your typical soccer mom. You take them to a plant medicine retreat, and literally there's these fucking hippies in bohemian dresses, and they're fucking on cloud nine in their hippie juice, and they're running around barefoot in the mud, like out doing mud angels, like, it's a wonderful life, we're so happy to have you. It's such a polar opposite. It's kind of freaks you out, you know, like Tony Robbins, when you go to his events, it's like, hi man, are you ready to go today? You know, just like MLM events, they're like, yeah, are you ready? Let me hear you. Versus, you know, if I'm coming in there, I'm like, oh my God, get me the fuck out of here, because I am not anywhere near that fucking tone. You know what I'm saying? So Demasi is she's more on my tone, man. You know what I'm saying? You never know. She saw me shit myself last week, and that's what we're going to talk about. So I had been looking for somebody that would do a solo ayahuasca. I loved ayahuasca, and I wanted it available for my certain clients that wanted to, you know, increase their inner wisdom and kind of jump timelines when it comes to the spiritual journey and growing the connection deeper, so that ultimately they can be happier and shed some PTSD and stuff like that. And I couldn't find anybody. And she messaged me. She's like, I found somebody. They do everything. They even have this thing stuff called Kambo and Bufo, and I'm going to try it. Well, she did. And then she told me, and I watched her. I know her, you know, I'm intuitive as well, I feel. And I watched her afterwards, and I was like, dude, she was just more bold, more out there, because she knows she's a coach. She stopped hiding so much. And she was just putting herself out there, which thank God, because like, that's what we want. And so I just noticed this, her being just unapologetic about who she was as a coach, who she was as a person. And I loved it. And I'm like, I noticed that. So that's cool. From the Kambo and Bufo. And she said, definitely, she just rant and raved about it. She couldn't really tell me exactly what it does, like for her spiritually. She just kept saying it's incredible. Sent me all kind of stuff to read up on it. And it was crazy cool how many health benefits that it had, especially people with autoimmune issues, lupus, just severe health issues, and what it does to cleanse your liver and whatever else it does. And so I read up on it, and I'm like, cool, man, I'll do whatever. Because at this point in my life, it is all about experiencing just YOLO, man. You know, 36 years old this year. I'm like, fuck it, let's see, man. You know, I'm not gonna put myself in danger, but like, I'm down for the plant medicine. Let's anything from the earth. I'm like, let's roll. Let's see what this is about. Ayahuasca is a completely different energy. It's a bigger energy. I'll say that. This was nothing like that, even though it had major effects. I didn't feel any sort of way leading up to it. Like with ayahuasca, I wanted to go vegan 2-3 weeks before. This right here, I was like, it was nothing like that, because Kambo there's no psychedelic whatsoever. It's purely physical. It's a physical purge where you get sick as fuck for about 10 minutes. That's it. It is nothing where you're going to trip your balls off. And then Bufo, where you smoke the shit, it was same thing. It was like there was no riding this wave of crazy shit. It literally felt to me like you went straight into a meditative state. If you've ever experienced deep meditation, like journeying, or where you can just really come into being and sit there, and your mind is shown things. You're having these breakthroughs, and some people say, you know, God speaks to me. So you're having those moments. You just go straight there, and it lasts about, well, they said 20 minutes, but it feels like it lasts about 5 minutes. And then you see online, you know, all these people flipping out. And you know, we've come to find out that for the most part, the women that we work with, they're already kind of spiritually in tune and tapped in. They're not going to experience any kind of thing like that. But anyway, Kambo. So I get there, I arrive at this place. It's way in bumfuck Egypt. It was like a 3-hour drive from where I live in Sarasota. I went out there and it was interesting. So it's this lady, little sweet lady. I want to hang out with her and smoke weed all day. You know, that kind of vibe. So like she could hang out with Snoop Dogg. She's just cool, man. She'd been around the block, you could tell. And you know, we got there. She's like, look, I've got a shower. I've got a bed here if you need it. Like if you get tired, just whatever. You just felt good. And then the guy that was there, he's one of the shamans. He's also a great medium, by the way. Like, wow, I was impressed with Mitchell. I've worked with a lot of intuitives, a lot of mediums, and Demaisi said, even if you don't really care about it, I highly recommend doing a session with him. He's good. I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, literally, I have been to and seen so many mediums. My friends are mediums, like, so it's not a cool thing for me. So I'm like, all right, let's see what's up. It was great. He was great. I'll give his information here. So you can't eat a lot. That's right. I showed up and it was fasted, which is hard for me. And I did bring, what did I do? I think I had some pop. You know that Spindrift pop? I did drink some Spindrift pop, which has a little bit of carbs in it. Tons of water. I don't think I did anything else because I didn't want to not do what they said. I don't drink coffee or anything like that. I did take one of my energy vitamins, which is like ginseng and stuff. I don't think you're supposed to do that, and I did, and I was fine. Demaisi, she did not do any coffee. You can't do any coffee or anything like that because your heart rate can go up, and it can make it could be dangerous, right? So they just want you to be really safe. You got to drink 4 liters of water, or I don't know how many liters are. All I know is it was a fucking mason jar about this big, and you got to drink 4 of those motherfuckers fast as you can. That alone is gonna make you vomit, but it didn't. If it was really good to me, you know, I could get down 3 like nothing because I'm so used to drinking gallons of water. It was not a big deal to me. But about that 3rd glass, I looked around because we're sitting Indian style on a blanket in a field, and I looked at him and I said, "Hey, I already feel like I may shit myself." So she was like, "Oh, honey, just go. You know, if you want to go now, or if you just shit yourself during the thing, it's okay. Just let it go." I'm like, "All right," and I don't have shame around shitting. I think I've dealt with that a long time ago. Like, there's that. When you're in a situation like that, or, you know, one time I shit in the lash place and it wouldn't flush and I walked out. I'm like, look, don't go in there. I took a dump and it's not flushing. I had to go. And anyway, it's pretty funny. But I mean, if I'm just shopping and I shit myself, that may be different, you know. But this particular situation, when purging and you're puking and shitting, it's almost like having a kid. If you've ever had a kid, man, you know, at some point you just got to let go. Okay. They've seen twats, they've seen blood, they've seen your shit. And so it's just one more thing. So just let them take care of you. So that's kind of what mode I got into, like the medical mode, like where you're there with a doctor. That's what it felt like. You're there with somebody that's trusted and they've got your back. So I did that. And I was nervous as hell. I didn't know what to expect, you know. I think I went first because Demaisi was taking her sweet fucking time with the water. I knew she was doing it on purpose. But you take your shirt off. She gave me the burns because that's how they administer the medicine. They burn a little thing on your skin and then put the medicine there versus like cutting you. But she did it on my arm here. You can do it on all different points. Apparently, all your meridian points. Like if you have womb issues, fertility issues, thyroid issues, you can do it on the back of the neck. Heart issues, do it on the, in front of your heart or the back. So you can do all these points of meridians. It's a big deal. But the arm is a great place to start, apparently, for people that's never done it. Apparently, you're supposed to start with like 1 to 2 pricks. Well, she burns me, and I was like, fuck, it kind of hurt. You know, since the burn kind of fucking hurt. I'm not gonna lie, it's with an incense looking thing. That kind of hurt. And then she puts a little bit of that shit on there, and you do some like prayer. You know, you set the intention before. And you just imagine that you're in like a fucking forest with a shaman. Like it's literally, you feel kind of like that, you know? So she puts one thing on me. She sees how you feel. And in about 20 seconds, I was like, all right, I feel a little heat. Just like a little heat coming from my core, you know, rising up. And she's like, yeah, you're fine. This bitch put 3 on me. 3, and I'm sensitive. So she puts 3 on me, and boy, all right. So initially, I remember I was like, okay, so I feel more heat. I said, I feel like it's rising up, like tingling now, and it's just going like, you know, up to my damn head. And I said, oh, and then there's all this pressure. I said, there's lots of pressure. It didn't feel like a headache. It felt like somebody was like water pressure, like you're going too deep. Instead of something squeezing your head, it felt like you wanted to pop your head Like, what's going to happen? I remember asking her, I said, what's going to happen? Is it when the pressure gets so bad, am I just going to puke? Right about the time I ask her a question, I'll start dry heaving. Like, ooh, because you get this feeling like, and it is, I'll be real. When you're sick with like a stomach virus and you need to puke, it felt just like that. Like you just need to throw up and you're just, you know. I start puking, and in about the fourth or fifth good puke, that kind of hurt because, you know, and it was mostly water there at the beginning, but then when it got into the bile, which is what they want you to puke the bile up. That's supposed to be part of the cleansing or whatever. Right about the time I got into the fucking bile, I remember saying out loud, I'm going to shit myself. And she just said right then and there, because you're very coherent, you're just sick. And I remember her saying, just let it go, babe. Just go right there. Like, almost like, let's do it. And I just started shitting. And I had on yoga pants. No underwear. I never wear underwear. And so I started shitting. I was like, all right, that's not too bad. You know, just a little bit of shit, a little bit of diarrhea. This is, you know, it's TMI. We're going to talk about shit today. Nobody else shit their pants, by the way. She was like, let it go. And I remember at that point, I got really sick. I mean, I got really sick. Like, I remember in my mind, and the shit's just coming out at this point. Literally, the shit is just flowing out of my ass. And I remember in my mind thinking, I want to tap out because, you know, you can tap out. And I heard Demasi, I could hear Demasi say like, oh, fuck. She's sitting over there like cussing, get it off, or, you know, just cussing. But she told her, if I say get it off, don't get it off. They're going to leave it on you for 20 minutes. They don't have to. If you're wanting it off, you can tap out. But the max is 20 minutes. That's the max that they're going to keep it on you. I think 10 or 20 minutes. So I remember thinking that, oh, this is getting bad. Let me tap out. I wanted to tap out. And in my mind, I was like, no, you're not going to tap out. You're going to ride this shit. Go as far as you can go. See if you can do it 20 minutes. Like a workout, you know, like, oh, it hurts, like legs. It fucking hurts, but you're going to bang out those 5 reps. And so I did, man. I sat there I went through it, was puking hard, heavy and hardcore. And then right then, y'all, it fucking, these two girls walked up because there was 2 more girls coming up to do the shit with us, right? They start walking up. I am shitting myself thinking they can see everything because I'm just sitting there with my legs, you know, out both ways, just shitting. At this time, they're walking up and I'm just like that, puking and shitting. And literally like, I made another noise. And right that time, shit filled up to my fucking pussy. And I remember saying to the lady, I said, it's in my pussy. Demasi said, after it was all over, she heard me say that. I was like, oh, because I remember saying, I'm done. Like, that was my tap out. Because then I thought, like, if shit gets in my puss, I could get sick. But right, it fucking filled that. Y'all, since probably I was a baby, that's happened. But I shit and it filled up to there. And I was like, I'm done. Get it off. I said, it's in my pussy. And she did. I remember her saying, okay, come here, baby, and go right there. She goes, don't go over there. That's the sprinkler system. Let me show you the water. And I start to get up, and I remember her. She had on a white dress, and so I'm just literally following the white dress because at this point, you feel like something has bitten you. You feel like some venom is like a snake bite. You feel that, you know, that where it's kind of closing in. You just feel you can't hardly see. You've been shitting and puking. You're just out of it. And I remember following her like, I got to get to her. She seemed so far away. And she went over there to turn that water hose on. And I remember saying, I can't make it. And I fell down, all 4, got on hands and knees. I just fell to the ground. Right at that time, shit some more. And it felt so fucking good. Like, just to let go. It felt so good to let go. And, you know, I had been pinned up tight, man. You know, it was so much let go. I remember there taking my fucking pants off, and I had that water hose, man, all over me. And it was funny because the girls, they were laughing after it was over. Like, Casey, who didn't give a fuck, she just got naked. Like, they're like, oh, you got a good butt, though. Like, but I didn't even care. But yeah, I did that, puked a ton. And then afterwards, we eat a light lunch, sit there, and great conversations for a few hours while everybody else integrated their shit. Kind of feel a little weak. Yeah, you kind of feel a little out of it, a little weak, you know, afterwards. And I brought some organic Pedialyte. Made sure to bring some organic Pedialyte, my own food, the bone broth, and the stuff, fruit. You know, I brought all of that kind of stuff with me. Shout out Hotmomz. So that felt good. And then Bufo, you can totally, you know, that we could eat and all that stuff. So we were getting ready for Bufo. we go out there, same thing, ceremonial, you know, on the ground, and set your intention. And this was also 20 minutes. I may have the times mixed up where Kambo's 10 and that's 20. I don't know. But it's 20 and you smoke it. Now, this is the thing I was not prepared for with Bufo. That shit tasted fucking weird and bad. I was thinking it was gonna, I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. But they were like, you should inhale like you would weed or something, like you're trying to get really fucked up, because they give it to you in this weird pipe and you have to smoke it a certain way. I'm like, yeah, fuck, I've smoked my whole life. Let's go. But dude, when my fucking lips hit that shit, it was like this weird chemical taste. And I was like this, but they'll like hold your nose so you get it all. But I was like, what the? And so I was just swallowing it. Instead of inhaling, I just remember swallowing it. So I didn't get a great hit, right, according to them. But I remember laying back, you kind of get like anesthesia, like, you know, if you've ever been put under, where you're like, okay, night. I felt that way because I remember sitting there like, when the fuck's this going to hit? Like, I remember just thinking that, like, damn, did I do it right? Because I felt the same. But about 10 seconds, I remember telling her, I said, I'm just going to lay back like this. And I laid on my side and got on my back. The sun was beating down, and I remember there was a fly on my leg and the sun was on my face. And I said, I'm going to pull this pillow over my face. Me talking to him the whole time, I'm kind of like coherent, you know. I just felt like I was going into a dreamlike state. And I remember pulling that pillow over my face. And then I kind of felt hot. I was like, the sun is going to fucking, I remember feeling the sun beating down on my legs. This is not heightened sensitivity. This was legit. We're in Florida and the fucking sun was beating down. I was not in the shade. After my session, they moved everybody in the shade. But I remember feeling the sun, but it was part of my session looking back. So I was just feeling the sun beating down on my legs, right? I remember feeling a fly and getting pissed off. But I remember right when I laid down and got in that state, I saw myself as like a 4-year-old just kind of like giggling in the hallway and want my mommy. Like, just want my mommy's love, want my mommy to look at me, just want my mom's love. And she had her back towards me, not angry, but just like couldn't see me. And I've done a lot of work. So right then I knew, and it felt like, hey, like they showed me that. And then immediately you feel love. Immediately you feel like that ayahuasca love, unconditional love. Like, you know, you may have not, maybe didn't get the love you needed, but I'll love you now, you know, just so much love and loving yourself. So I felt so much love after that, but you're shown the things. And then I started hearing a gunshot in the background. And I thought about my dad, and the way I felt about my dad was just this, probably got some more stuff, you know, to process with that. Cause I just felt kind of disgusted, like let down. I felt very let down by my father. And I hate to say that. It's not that I felt let down by my father, because I would never want him to think that he did a bad job. My dad did a fucking great job. Like, knowing who he is, what he had to work with. Like, Dad, like, you fucking crushed it. Like, you fucking crushed it. Like, because I am successful because of the way you fathered me, you parented me, and same with you, Mom. Like, you know, they did the best they could, and I so appreciate them. Like, holy fuck, you know? But I remember feeling that way, just kind of let down, because I've had to grieve in the loss of hoping that he would be a certain way. They showed me a water, this native spirit came in, and it showed me myself to them, to that, to God, whatever you want to call it, because it's hallucination. Like if you're meditating, you can daydream. And I said, waterfalls, that's it, waterfalls. And then something told me it's about it's everything about the waterfall and how the waterfall moves and everything. And then after that, they told me this waterfalls. Okay, got it. So immediately after that, next thing you know, I kind of like start to wake up, and I did not feel heat. Like, all of a sudden, I didn't feel the flies. I couldn't feel the heat. And I woke up, and they got me off the mat, you know, they didn't get me off the mat. I got off the mat myself. You're fine. Well, the other girl got her started. But as I was sitting there, I start doing these mantras of my chakras, and I felt them putting in amethyst in my third eye, and they're like, we're gonna put this in this one, we're gonna put rubies in your root chakra, like, you know, some crazy shaman shit, right? I was like, thank you, and I'm doing these mudras to clear my energy centers, and that was interesting. And I wanted to do yoga moves and shit, like just moving energy. And I noticed the other girl, she went to, like, at the end, she was like moving like in a dance motion, so it's like energy's moving through you. It was really cool. It was not scary at all. It's just like if you want to meditate, And even if you're scared, it's just imagine that you're just going to get to talk with God or get to talk with yourself and ask questions, and you get the answers, and then you just wake up. It's not scary at all. You feel a little vulnerable because you're there with other people, but other than that, everybody's cheering you on and loving you, and everybody has a different experience on the mat. And I did cry a little bit there at the beginning, but yeah, after that, I just sat there and they offered me some more, and we were sitting there around in the circle, and I smoked just a little bit more, and same thing, I closed my eyes again and just kind of like, it puts you in that meditative state, that journey state, and then it just goes very quick. That is my experience with Bufo and Kambo. We have to turn the camera this way. And then afterwards, this is why I wanted to wait to do this video, is because I wanted to see what happened afterwards. So afterwards, it kind of threw my poop off, to be honest. Usually I was going twice a day, but my poop got thrown off. But I hadn't felt that good in years, and I was working out with my son and just sitting out. I had so much energy. It's like so much energy, like when you first started working out, when you were in your 19 or 20, like so much energy. And then I remember having these moments of, fuck it. Like, I remember setting these strong boundaries and making these big decisions soon after, which is what I noticed and witnessed with Maisie, where she just was very unapologetically, lovingly helping herself and people. So that's how I did it. Skip said he noticed it, where I was just like, yeah, that's a no for me. Yeah, no. Just setting those boundaries that is so hard for us heart-centered women to do, because we just don't like confrontation. We're very feminine, So I noticed that I was in that energy, like, well, this is fucking cool. You feel so empowered. And what it helped me with the most was showing me that I still had it in me when it came to doing hard things. Like, for example, before I struggled, and when I was first getting into the fitness game, what turned me into a pro, man, that's a sweet fucking Bentley, baby blue Bentley convertible behind me. When I first got into it, I was so into it. I had so much energy, and I loved the hustle. I loved the feeling of pushing my leg, workouts. I loved the feeling of pushing myself in the gym, and I loved that feeling. This gave me that feeling. Plant medicine has helped me remember how strong that I really am when it comes to my mindset. Like, instead of tapping out and wanting to quit, it literally helps you to just ride that ride. Like, because for me, being so wound up and coming from all that trauma, it's hard for me to let go. Given the choice of alcohol or plant medicine now, I would do plant medicine all day long, even if it's, marijuana over alcohol, because it's just spiritual. It helps me to let go. So I would say this would be great for that person that's just wound up very tightly, to help you let go, get to know what you're running from and what you're still wound up from. And it just really puts things into perspective so that you don't struggle so much. You have to be okay with things not being okay. And I know those of you that come from a lot of struggle in the past, and that nervous system that's wound tightly, meditation and certain forms of therapy only go so far. And the plant medicine is just really coming out, now with everybody talking about it, and Joe Rogan exposing it, so famous people now doing it for healing purposes. Hopefully it catches on and becomes mainstream, because, or not, I could care less, but I know for my kids personally that when I see them, or if I see them experience depression, like when I had depression as a teen and even tried to commit suicide, when I got on Lexapro, like if I would have had access to these people and this plant medicine, my life would have been changed forever. For me, I think it's a very powerful godsend. I think it's a very powerful alternative to chemicals, and the drugs that are prescribed for mental health. If you can find a great shaman or anything, I'd love, I can give you the information to who we use. And also a student of mine, Lauren, she's actually in one of our case studies. Incredible story of sobering up, coming off 23 opiates, and she's actually a former nurse in the military, and just really she went down in a hole. Found Hotmomz, kind of got out of it, realized she had a lot of trauma, and started healing herself, and stumbled upon Kambo, and it helped her just really, it was another game changer for her. And now she is a practitioner, and actually invited one of the other students in our group to help them. So yeah, there's a lot of people around you. I remember I found plant medicine in 2012, and I said no. I always thought it was weird, and I judged people that did it. And it kept coming up, in 2021. And I said, fuck it, man, let's do it. And by that time, I'd heard a lot about it. And looking back, if I would have just done it 2012, who I would give anything, because I spent probably 10 years working with healers and therapists and counselors. I could have bypassed all that with just some basic integration in plant medicine with integration. So hopefully this has been pretty informative and funny, because I did totally shit myself everywhere. But yeah, I will, if you want the information, look around or below this video. And there you have it. The only thing is I'd rather not give this to people that are not working with me. I'll be happy to give you the ayahuasca church and all that, but the person that specifically administered hours, I'd rather you work with us in some form or fashion. So if you're watching this at Hotmomz, you're good. You'll see the information right below this video. But if you're not working with us, just go to kcship.com/book a call and get yourself booked in, so at least you can get on something and get access to our resources. So cool. It was fun talking to you, and look forward to connecting.
This is it. I've got a free training, kcship.com/register. Be sure to grab that and then join my free Facebook group and just reach out. Struggle is not required, so hit me up, kcship.com/register. Talk to you soon.